Hey guys, Evan Roeth here, and today we're going to be going over diff building and how I like to build my diffs. Let's start out with the greases I use. My choice is the One Army Racing brand of greases. That is their O-ring grease and their friction reducing anti-wear grease. Those are the two you will need for diff building. They also offer a lithium grease, which is good for ring and pinion gears, as well as they call it Racer Red. It's kind of just an all-purpose grease. So let's start off here with our diff building. I'm going to open up our O-ring grease here. And your first step is going to be to get those O-rings greased. So I'm just going to I use the Avid little tweezers. Just dip it in there. Get it all nice and coated. And then you're going to take it here and place it in the diff top. Wipe off any extra oil there, grease, sorry. You're going to do the same to the bottom half with the other O-ring. Take out the extra grease in the center there. Wipe that off. Now we can put our O-ring grease to the side. Now we're going to put the friction reducing grease, or the anti-wear grease, onto our outdrives. So what I like to use for that is an X-Acto knife. Make sure it's nice and clean. Just get a little bit on the tip there. And there is a groove in these outdrives. You want to fill that up with grease. And the rest of the grease, just kind of smear it around there. You're going to coat the outdrive nice and good. It's going to be moving inside another part, and you want as little friction as you can have on it. So you're going to get all nice and coated there. That's about right. You can see that there. Put that one to the side. Let's do the other one. Alright, now that both our outdrives are nice and coated in friction reducing grease, we can go ahead and put that to the side as well. The next step is going to be pop bearings into the case. Just like to get them started there and press them flat on the bench. They go on straight. Same with the bottom half. Get them started. Pop them on there. Next, we're going to take our little shim here. Now these shims typically have some release agent from the factory. So I just like to take just a little piece of microfiber, and I use 99% rubbing alcohol. Any kind of degreaser will work though. You take the shims and just run them on there. You can see all the oils that come off with them. You don't want that in your diff. Next step, take your tweezers again, grab the shim, drop it in there, make sure it gets nice and centered. Same with the top half. Remember, nice and centered. A little extra grease in there. It's okay, I'll just wipe that out. Now that our bearing and shim is on, our next step is going to be to insert the outdrive. You take that on there. Just pop it through. Wipe that extra grease off there with a microfiber to my side. Then you're going to want to take your outdrive pins. Again, using your needle nose little tweezers here. A little picky to get in sometimes. Just pop them in like that. You want to get them nice and centered. So next step, other guys use different methods. I just like to take whatever grease I'm putting in the diff, or oil, sorry. For this center diff, it's for a 4-wheel short course. We're going to put 15K in there. And just get some of that on my fingertip and rub the gasket in it. Get it nice and coated there. I'm just going to go ahead and drop that right in the diff now. Again, take your needle nose, line it up with the hole for the screw, to finish by putting top half, just setting it on there upside down like that, and that is the top half of your diff done. Now let's do the bottom half. Same idea, slide that through there. Got a lot of extra grease in there, just wipe that out. Take your outdrive pin, drop that in there. This one's a little tricky. Kind of got to get it as an angle there, but it does go in. Wipe the extra grease out of there. Once that is lined up, you want to have it lined up nice like that. You take your gear, drop that in there until it clicks in. Next up, take these cross pins, put your 4, your 3, your 2, whatever gear setup you're running. This diff is being built with 4 gears. So we're gonna build it just like that. This diff is getting 15K. So I'm gonna take a silver Sharpie, a paint pen, anything will work, and right on the diff center, 15. That helps me know which diff is which when I'm doing rebuilds or when I'm building diffs. You can check it all nice and smooth there. Next up, I like to take just a little bit of oil. 15K for this diff again. Just kind of cover that first gear in there. And then you can go ahead, drop your 4 gears in there, get them all nice and moved around there, and then fill up the rest of the diff. There's little pockets in the side here. You kind of want to put some oil in there, make sure they get full. Otherwise your diff is going to be under full and not going to perform as it should. Once you get that full, you're going to put it off to the side and let it sit. I have another diff here that's been sitting for a little while. All the air bubbles have escaped. It's a front diff. So let's take this gear. You're going to drop it in there. Make sure it's nice, set in there how it should be. And you can see there's a little bit, not quite enough oil, so you're going to take, this one's also getting 15K, and just fill up the little cracks. And take your finger, go around it, wipe off, make sure all the cracks are full on that one. And then what I like to do on our Techno diffs, our center outdrive is solid, so I like to just take just anything, 2 mil. I'm using just needle nose. Just take the diff oil out of that center bit. That way you know your diff won't be overfilled. Your next step here, you're going to line up the 2, pin with the screw hole. And you're going to put them together. I like to just take a 1/5 or anything that fits in there. Make sure the screw holes are centered. And then we're going to take, I use a drill, you can do it by hand. Just don't run them in all the way. Fall off there. Stop when they get close to being done. And you want to do them opposite each other. So in a cross pattern, do it at an angle, you risk kind of warping your diff case, having it not buttoned down the exact right way it should. So that's where it's stopping there. Now you've got 2 opposite each other. You're going to do the other 2. And 1 more. Then you're going to take your 2 mil or whatever screwdriver you need and just crank them down, just snugging them to start. This last one doesn't quite want to go. There we go. Now that they're snugged, you can go again, crank them down. Make sure you're doing it in that cross pattern where you're going to risk warping your cup. And that is a fully built diff, nice and smooth. That should not leak. That's how I build my diffs, guys. Let me know if you have any questions.